Hi, my name is Mr. Caraballo. I'm the arts teacher here at Arts High School. And I think it's important to celebrate Women's History Month because women are just amazing people. I think as a man, I think a woman is just a beautiful signal of strength and power that, helps develop this world and our society and our culture. And I think they're the backbone of pretty much everything. When I think about women, I think about my mother and how strong of a woman she was. I think about my grandmother and how great of a person she was and the love that she gave me. So I think it's super important to celebrate women and everything they provide to us in the home, in the workforce, in planet Earth, and in all aspects of life. They're just amazing, amazing human beings.
Hello, my name is Keshna Desir. I teach graphic design here at Arts High School, as well as digital illustration. Women really do a lot of work. They really do a lot of hard work. And oftentimes we don't get the recognition that we should.
Hi, my name is Lordina Gakbe. I am a vocal major at Arts High School. And I think that it's important to celebrate Women's History Month because it recognizes the resilience and hard work of women that wasn't recognized for centuries. And I feel that it's important to know the people who came before us and how they paved the way for me to sit here and be able to look at this camera and speak about anything I want to speak about, the freedom to choose where I want to be and where I want to go to college, what career path I choose. Looking back and then looking at where we are now, I'm very grateful for the women who came before me, who paved the way for me to be able to sit here today and talk about women's history. So that's why I feel we should celebrate Women's History Month.
So somebody who's influenced me in my life personally has to be my mom. Funny enough, my mom actually went to the school when it was a college or technical school. She actually got her degree in graphic design. She became a graphic designer in Manhattan. And she was the person that inspired me to become an artist. I would go through her portfolio, I would go through her art history books at home. And she would always give me tips and tricks on how to make my art more impactful and make it more technically sound. So she's one of my biggest inspirations. I would always see her coming home from Manhattan on a train, walking those long Manhattan blocks after a long day and always coming home and showing us love and bringing us, certain things from the city that we would just like marvel at, me and my brother. So, she couldn't ask for a better mother, I couldn't ask for a better role model, and I couldn't ask for a better inspiration as an artist. So everything that I do and I create and the person I become, the man I become, is partly because of her.
It would be my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother came to the States, I can't remember how old she was. She was probably 60, 70, more than likely in her 60s. But at the time, she didn't know how to read or write. And she learned to read, write, and got a job. In Haiti, where we're from, she did a lot of agricultural work. So she had her own farm and everything else like that. And I picked my mom because she's a very influential person. She's no longer with us. Neither of them are, but I saw how hard my mom worked, and she valued education. She made sure each and every one of her children went to high school, college, and studied a good degree, got a good degree. She wanted to be sure that her children were well off, better off than she was. My mom was a nurse, and she valued taking care of people. And she also was a musician. She learned to play the guitar, she learned to play the piano, and she came out with 2 albums in French. So despite how hard she worked, she also made sure to enjoy the arts. So I have to pick my mom.
In my personal life, like I said, I know it sounds cliche, but I think that my mom has been my biggest inspiration, and I don't take that lightly. My mother was an immigrant, and she didn't speak English. She never had the chance of an education. She was the oldest of her sibling, never went to school. She didn't even know what cereal was, but she came here on her own, left her family behind because she knew that there was something out there for her, and she did not accept defeat, and she didn't take no for an answer. And she got here on her own, and it was hard. She didn't speak English, she didn't know how to read a book, but I'm here today because my mom did not accept defeat, and she didn't let what society told her she would be. She didn't let what her family spoke over her take that away from her. And I'm here today, and she has taught us so much resilience, and she speaks, like, her English is amazing now. And I just think that that's the type of example I had growing up. So it's hard for me to accept defeat or let people tell me what I can and can't do, anything I put my mind to, because I had a strong mother like that teaching me what true resilience was. So I think that's my biggest example.
I think one person that I think people should know more about is the Taíno chiefess named Anacaona. Anacaona was a Taíno chiefess in Haiti, and her nickname was the Golden Flower Child. And she led her people into, prosperity, but it came a point in time where her land was invaded, and she stood up for her people, and she was a very inspirational figure to me and to my art.
I would think maybe Lois Muller Jones. She was an African-American painter who she traveled, she painted, she taught up until her death at the age of 92. And I came across her because I was doing an art submission and felt like I could relate to her in the sense. I do enjoy traveling and everything else like that, but she started out doing textile illustrations, so like patterns and things of that nature. And when she found that her work was being published with her name not being attached to it, she transitioned to doing more paintings and illustrations. So I think she's someone worth looking up and seeing more about her background. I know that she did travel to Haiti and started incorporating cultural things in her artwork.
As a poet and a writer, I definitely want to shine a light on Elizabeth Acevedo. She's an Afro-Latina poet and writer. I suggest you guys read her books. Like, for example, The Poet X. He really shined the light on how it is to be a Afro-Latina living in New York and having deeply religious parents, and what it was like trying not to conform to everyone around her and be her own person. And I think that she is just an amazing writer. She really talks about these things beautifully. And I feel like everyone should, get a chance and explore her work.